Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart, the Cardano price, and also Bitcoin briefly. Don't really have too much time to do an update at this time today, but I will still provide one, and then maybe later today there will be a slightly longer one. What we can see is Bitcoin, moving sideways after the move to the upside, which again was expected. I talked about it in the video yesterday. However, Ethereum now catching up massively. Awesome. I think we need to take a look at Ethereum later today in more detail. And yeah, Cardano 77%. That's finally looking good. That's finally looking good. So let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, moving sort of sideways. I mean, in my view, it's a bullish consolidation, still above the all-time high, the previous all-time high. Yesterday in my video about ADA BTC, I showed you this target box. I said, if we come down, this in my view was the third wave, a small third wave. We would come down in a fourth wave, which that might have been. And now we're moving up to a final fifth wave before we continue a little bit of an ABC correction, probably on a smaller scale. And that could now take us to 70k, that fifth wave here. What we need to take a look at is, it basically hit the target level here. Anything in that box would have been fine, but we actually came down all the way to the lower end of the box. And I said that would be, for me, a good entry for a short-term trade, which I did. So yeah, Bitcoin is doing what is expected. In my view, from here, we will continue our move to the upside in a fifth wave to the upside before there will be some further consolidation, possibly at around 70k. Or I did say to you yesterday, it is pretty much at 70,900, which is the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level. So that's all fine, just needs a bit of a sideways movement for, first of all, to cool down, and then also to allow the other cryptos to catch up, which they are all doing at the moment. And with Cardano as well, looking good. We broke out of that symmetrical triangle. I've been saying in so many videos that I expect a catch up and a move to the upside. Now that was obviously now finally fueled by Bitcoin, and that was a catalyst. It looked a bit like here that we were breaking to the downside, which we did as well, but in the end it was a fake out. So we finally managed to get out of this here. And I did say in previous videos as well, when we were coming down here and when we were here, is this the last leg before we move up? I don't know if you remember that, but there wasn't much space anymore here in this triangle. So I said, is this the last leg before we really break to the upside? And well, we then broke to the downside, but only briefly. I made my update video on that day before we had that W bottom, which we can see here on the 1 hour chart. You can actually see it, but yeah, it was in the end, it was really the last leg, and now we are pumping, and we have a nice volume, which is important. And however, we can see now that the candles are getting a bit smaller, so there might be a little bit of a retracement coming, just a bit of a consolidation. What is certainly good that we managed to get above the 224, 225 level that we talked about here, so that is very positive. And we now seem to be struggling with this level where we had a lot of resistance here at around 228 to 230. Now the 232 level here is a very important one. We had a lot of resistance there before. We had here resistance, we had here resistance, we had here resistance as well. So that is one that we struggled with before. So it's pretty much a zone that we are approaching now between 228 and 232. On top of that, we have a bit of work to get through the 50-day moving average to the upside, which is at 234. As I said before, we managed to get above the 20-day moving average, which is awesome. So we pumped, managed to get out of that triangle consolidation. We retested that former resistance as support, that diagonal upper leg of that triangle. Then in that next move, we broke through the 20-day moving average, formed another bull flag on a small scale, and we talked about that on this channel. And we are continuing our way to the upside. Now we are now getting on the 4 hour chart as well into overbought territory. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to stop now. We have been in here back in August in the overbought area before for a longer period, but it just indicates now that it is getting overheated. And people ask me, is it worth getting in now? And I think for the long term, for me personally, it's always good to get into Cardano. I believe in the project, but make sure that you know about the project. So on this channel, I don't tell you anything about buy it or don't buy it. I don't want to make any of these recommendations. People need to come to their own conclusions. What I can tell you is what I believe I can see in the charts. And if I believe a project has potential, and Cardano has potential, and I think we will see much higher prices in this bull run. Now, with Bitcoin, there will be a decision point at around 70k. I did say that. So that can influence Cardano and the whole crypto market, really. but you know, in the long run, as I said, we are not in the alt season yet, and we've really only just started this uptrend here. So it's looking good at the moment. Buy signals on the MACD, we had all them. On the ADX as well, we are on the 4-hour chart above 20, above 25 as well, which are both important lines. So that's looking good on the 4-hour chart. 1 hour, I think we are massively overbought now. Well, not massively, but we are overbought here, consolidating here above the 70 line currently. So we basically indicates that we are moving up, and we can probably also draw a trend line here that just will tell us, you know, when we are losing momentum. But you can see also on the 1 hour chart that these green candles getting a bit smaller now. So, but I think we are consolidating bullish as long as we stay above sort of this trend line here anyway. It is looking good. In my view, you know, we're going to continue this move to the upside as if Bitcoin and Ethereum continue to move up as well. I mean, Cardano now has so much to catch up. You can see the volume is there. It's certainly higher than we had it in the weeks before. So there is an increase in the volume, which is good. We just need to make sure. I think if we get above the 50-day, you know, we'll absolutely, you know, go to these levels. We could even get to 280. I did say that before. And from there, if we break that 280, I think we can address it 310. So it's looking good. Let us have a final look on the daily. Here you can see how impressive we finally moved out of that triangle. And I think that white line here was that target level that I gave you previously from that bull flag. That would take us to around 235, isn't it, to that 50-day moving average pretty much. So, and that 50-day moving average will be a struggle, because also here that is basically that high that we had here on the 23rd, 24th of September. So it is really that we're approaching a lot of resistances now. You can see it. We've got this one here at around 228. Then we've got this one here at around 233, and we've got the 50-day moving average as well. So I think this will be a bit of a push to get through that now. On the daily, we have massive scope still to go to the upside. So, you know, we are not overbought on the daily because we were so low on the RSI. So I think we can get a little bit of a consolidation now on the which just means probably a bit of sideways move on the to get the 1 hour and the 4 hour RSI down. But then I think, you know, we can carry on our move to the upside, and that's what I think. You know, we're still getting into alt season, and there is always a little bit of noise of up and down, but I think this project has so much potential, and there is a great community. So yeah, it has a bright future, and we just need to get above the 50-day moving average. I believe other cryptos were able to push more, but they are already above the 50, so they have managed to get above the 50-day moving average before that all-time high happened for Bitcoin, which made it easier for them to go much higher. But you can see how much Cardano has to catch up. I mean, there is a lot. There is a lot. At least to 280, I think that is what is definitely realistic in the short term. So hopefully you liked that update video. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe if you really like the content, and maybe even consider a channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.